Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-February 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Aquarius. Totally fine if you find this video a few days before the middle of the month or a few days after the middle of the month. You'll find it when you need it. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I will provide you the meaning of the cards, but also provide you any intuitive messages I may receive. I do also recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising to get a full picture of everything that's going on. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my channel. That helps me greatly. And when you subscribe, you'll also be notified when I post new videos each month. And I usually post a couple Aquarius videos a month. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to do our regular spread. In column 1, we're going to take a look at what's happened the last few weeks. So the beginning of February. Column 2 is going to be the remainder of February. Column 3 is going to be money, column 4 is going to be love, and column 5 is going to be a message from your future self or spirit guides. The cat would like to help us. He's our celebrity guest here. But let's go ahead and get started. We're going to pull a summary card. We have the card Listen. So when we see the card Listen, it means a couple different things. What I'm getting, Aquarius, is that some of you heard something in the last few weeks and it might not have been what you wanted to hear. I feel like somebody was upset telling you something, or it could be the opposite, like you spoke up and said something, you wanted to be heard, and it could have been something that was bothering you as well. But let's clarify and again see what things are wrapping up and coming to a close for us in the last few weeks and see what we've got. The first card we have is the Hangman. The Hangman is a card of being stagnant. It's exactly that. You're kind of hanging there. Typically, you're waiting for some more information or you need something else in order to move forward. So we'll see what clarifying card comes up, but likely some of you could have felt a little stagnant here recently. The nice thing about this card is when you flip it over, it's now in the position of the Fool. So once you do get that piece of information, you're able to move forward. The next card that we have is the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is a card of heartbreak, loss. It can be depression. It's just kind of those low, sad feelings. Again, I feel like some of you were frustrated and upset and you were telling somebody that, or vice versa, somebody was frustrated and upset with you, and now maybe that's why you have these lower feelings. At the bottom, we have the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card of rivalry, challenge, obstacles. They are, however, though, fighting with wands. So when I think about this, it's not super major. It's not the biggest fight. Like, they're still learning how to fight with wands versus with swords. But still some bumps in the road, some contention. Again, I feel like it probably is tying back to this news that you told somebody or news that you heard from somebody. But let's clarify. Again, the nice thing is this is coming to a close. We get to move forward from this energy and into the rest of the month. But the card that we have, our first clarifying card, is the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is very curious. It's gossip, it's prying eyes, it's truth. So for some of you, there could have been like a lie or a secret or truth coming out that triggered all of this. Again, you could have been listening or you could have been the one sharing. And again, with the Hangman, we're waiting for some sort of information before we can take action. So I'm not surprised to see the truth, secret, prying eyes card there. The next card that we have is the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is very resourceful. You may have heard it from somebody you didn't expect, if that makes sense. Things might come about to you in an odd way. Like, I'm just getting that some of you heard something and maybe it wasn't from the person you expected it to be. Again, it's on top of the hurt feelings. So again, whatever this message is, what was said, what was shared. And then we have the Three of Swords again. Those are those low feelings. That's that heartbreak, loss, depression, really those sad feelings going on with the Three of Swords. And it's on top of that Five of Wands, which is that rivalry card. So again, that kind of butting heads, that obstacle, that challenge. Whatever came out kind of seemed to bother you or bother those around you. But again, I think we get to move past it. So let's take a look into what's coming for the rest of February for you. The first card that we have is Magnetism. I really like the card Magnetism. It kind of goes like hand in hand with manifesting, is being able to get what you ask for. So it's about focusing on what you want. What you think is what you get. You can attract anything that you want. But let's clarify here and see what we've got going on. The first card we have is the World card. The World card is a card of completion. You see that the world is going full circle here. But this is oftentimes a goal or a lesson that's being completed. Just indicates that you've finished something and you can move on to something new. It is also sometimes a card of travel. So some of you could be traveling going into the end of February or making travel plans. The next card we have is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is a card of feeling unfulfilled sometimes. You might not be really happy with the way things played out or your current situation. It can also be a card of surprise gifts though too. I do feel like for a lot of you though, you're not really happy with where things are, but the World card is a great indicator here that we're going to kick into a new chapter and you have the ability to attract whatever you want to. Then we have the Empress card at the bottom. The Empress card is a card of creation, abundance. It is a card of fertility and good parenting. So for those of you wanting to grow your family, this could be a good indicator. But this is a lot of like, you're not happy with where you are, but you're able to create what you want. And that's that world. You're closing that chapter and moving forward on whatever it is you want, Aquarius. Let's clarify though and see what messages we get. First clarifying card is the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is a card that desires long-term security. Again, this makes sense because I'm getting the feeling you're not really happy with where you're at. Therefore, you're going to go and seek more. You're thinking long-term. You're trying to figure out what you want and where things are going. Then we have the card, the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is fast talking. It's a lifestyle change. Again, we're feeling this kind of unfulfillment, discontentment with things that are going on. The Knight of Swords is a great card saying that there's going to be a shift of energy. At the bottom, we have the Temperance card. The Temperance card is a card of balance, harmony, patience, self-control, moderation, and getting that you can create whatever future you want. With the Temperance card, it's about balance. Like you see, we're pouring water between two cups, that fine balancing act. But it's like a lot of you might not have had this harmony or this balance in your life, but you have the ability to create it is what the Empress is saying. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is regards to money. So this could be your job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments, anything associated with money. The first card we have is the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is a card of expansion. It's also a card of commerce in general, so it's a great card to have in the money column. I feel for some of you, your workload is going to be expanding. Your business could be expanding. Your investment portfolio could be expanding. Things are expanding and growing is the message that's coming through there. The next card we have is the Ten of Cups. For those of you who have watched my videos before, the Ten of Cups is my favorite card in the entire deck. The Ten of Cups is a card of family, contentment, total love and support. You have all the cups here on the rainbow. You have a happy couple, kids playing, a house, green grass, blue running water. It's just like the card of everything. So great card to have even in the money column. Great card to have really anywhere. The message I see a lot with that card too is if some of you are trying to buy a house, of course that fits into the money and investment realm. That's a really great card for you. Then at the bottom we have the Knight of Swords. We have the Knight of Swords already once too. This is again that fast-paced lifestyle change. That could be the expansion of your business. Maybe your business is really going to take off. Your workload's going to take off. But there's going to be some sort of shift in the money realm for you. Let's clarify this column though and see what we've got going on. The first card we have is the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is a card of sometimes like dishonesty or a feeling of betrayal. You see this person's like picking up their swords and they're trying to move away. Again, that's on top of the expansion card. For some of you, you might be fed up and like decide to go and start your own business. If that's the case, I do think it'll be very successful for you, especially given the spread here. But it's like something is bothering you, but it's actually leading you to this greater place. Remember, this bigger, growing expansion. So these frustrations or this dishonesty or betrayal is taking you to a much, much better place. The next card we have is the Moon card. The Moon card is a card of voluntary change and trusting your intuition. For those of you buying the house, you just have to stick with the process is what I'm getting. Like some of you could be really frustrated. Maybe you've been trying for a long time and things just aren't coming together. So trust that process, but also trusting your intuition. So I feel like some of you could be worried about money, and I would say not to be. But overall, just make sure you're trusting yourself with the Moon card here. And it indicates change, which makes sense because our next card down here is a change card as well. So just trust yourself through whatever that change may be. At the bottom, we have the Sun card. The Sun card is a card of material happiness, joyous outcome, success. Sun card is a wonderful card. Definitely a great card for money too. Again, that material happiness, that material abundance, all of those wonderful things that come along with the sword, or excuse me, with the Sun. And that's on top of that Knight of Swords. So this change that you're going to be going through is going to be the right change to make, whether it's starting your own business, expanding your business, taking on new work. You have two back-to-back cards with the Ten of Cups and the Sun that's telling you it's going to be really wonderful. Now let's take a look at the love column. So anything related to love, it could be family, friends, children, single, in a relationship, just anything love. The first card we have is the King of Cups. The cup energy is standing out really strong, so I do want to call that out. Cups are water signs, and it's also very emotional type energy. But again, the King of Cups, this is very supportive. This is very tolerant. This is very empathetic. So I feel like that's you, whether you're in a relationship or not. These are really good characteristics that you're bringing to the table, Aquarius. The next card we have is the Ace of Swords. Anytime we have an Ace card, it's a card of newness. In the case of the Ace of Swords, this is a new idea, new mental clarity. For those of you that are single, I'm getting that you really have figured out what you want between the King of Cups and the Ace of Swords. But this could indicate a new relationship as well. At the bottom, we have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is a great card. It's a card of wishes coming true. It's, again, material abundance. It's good health. For those of you that have had some illness in your family, I do feel like that's going to be clearing up, so that's really good. Do you want to mention that? But again, this is like saying what you want. So now you know what you want, whether you're in a relationship or you're single, and you're being able to attract those things to you. Remember that card, Magnetism. You're really bringing whatever you want in, Aquarius. Let's confirm this row, though. See what messages we get. So we have the King of Cups on top of the King of Cups. Again, if you've watched my videos before, you know how much I love this when we get two of the same card. It's literally the universe saying, I meant what I said. And again, the King of Cups is that very supportive leader, very tolerant, very empathetic. Again, these are your traits. And I'm almost getting the message, Aquarius, is like if somebody tells you you're not one of these things, it doesn't matter, because deep down this is the person that you are. It's also, I'm getting a message, even though I'm not sure quite how it relates to the card, but it's like, make sure you're getting exactly what you want. You know what you want, and you should be getting exactly that, whether you're single or in a relationship, or it's your family or your friends. You know your worth. The next card we have is the Tower card. The Tower card is a card oftentimes of unwanted change. It's kind of like an upheaval, and it's on top of that Ace of Swords, which is again a new idea or mental clarity. There might have been something that shocked you into this mental clarity, if that makes sense, Aquarius. Again, it could have been this truth that came out earlier. It could have been maybe unfortunately you had somebody cheat on you, and now it's like you know better what to look for in a relationship or what you want. So it's like something that you didn't want, but now you have this new clarity, and possibly a new relationship or friendship because of it. Then at the bottom we have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is very confident, very self-assured. Going back to what I said about the King of Cups, it's like, know who you are, be true to yourself. Don't let other people kind of like tell you what you are and you aren't, because deep down you know, Aquarius. And that's on top of our 9 of Cups, which is wishes coming true, material abundance, happiness, good health. So just be confident in these things. Be confident in how a relationship will work out. Be confident whether you're single or by yourself, or excuse me, single or in a relationship. But again, focus on what you want. You have all the traits to get you to where you want to go. Now in our 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. Oops, sorry, pulling you the wrong card already here. We have the card of balance. So definitely we'll read into this and see what messages come through, but I'm hoping that you'll be feeling more balance going into the end of February, Aquarius. But let's see here what we've got going on. So this is the second time that we've talked about shifting to balance, because we had the Temperance earlier on top of the Empress, where we're talking about attracting what we want, creating what we want with the Magnetism card, with the Empress and the Temperance card on top of each other. So that's saying you can create whatever you want, you're creating balance. We have balance coming up again too. So I'm definitely feeling this shift to balance, which is really good. But let's read through the cards below. We have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is a wonderful card. It's my other favorite card in the deck. It's a card of good fortune. It's a turning point as well here with the wheel, but it's just luck, good fortune, good things coming to you, a good shift in energy. So I think a lot of you are going to be at that point where you're shifting to this better energy, better balance. Then we have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is very active and very creative. Again, makes sense because we were talking about how you are creating all of these things for yourself. Then we have the Star card. The Star card is renewal, hope, inner clarity. In some cases, some of you could be in the spotlight. That's what this big star here is at the top. But I feel like this shift is going to totally renew you, Aquarius. It's going to renew, it's going to give you new clarity. It's almost like going to be a breath of fresh air. Now let's clarify this column and see what other messages we have. To start with, we have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is a very low card. It's like a feeling of being at rock bottom. It's very, very low emotions. You see this person is laid down, all the swords are stuck into them. It's really gloomy. However, it's wonderful that this is on top of our Wheel of Fortune. So what I'm getting is that you're moving away from this point. Again, for some of you, you haven't had that balance in so long. It's going to be really awesome. So a good shift coming. You can leave behind some of those lower emotions and feelings. The next card we have is the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is a card of collaboration. It's like teamwork. It's working with people. That's on top of the Page of Wands, which again is very active and very creative. You could be leaning on others around you to create this kind of new mindset. Again, maybe somebody's giving you information that you need to create this shift or unlock that for you. But I do feel like there's going to be some support there, some collaboration. The bottom here, we have the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is a card of like bullies, violence. It's not very healthy relationships typically. So I would say that you're kind of ridding yourself of some of these relationships that are not serving you well also, Aquarius. Again, that's on top of that Star card. So as we rid ourselves of these relationships, there will be that renewal, that peace, that breath of fresh air that we were talking about. At this point in time, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But for question number 1, we have the Four of Clubs. This is number 4 card. That's going to be a yes. Question number 2 is the Four of Hearts, the number 17 card. That's also a yes. And for question number 3, we have the Six of Diamonds, number 51 card. That's going to be a no. So we have yes, yes, no. Also, at the beginning of February, I did pull you a card from this Healing Stones deck. It's a crystal to carry with you through the month of February to support you. Your crystal of the month was rock crystal, which is clear quartz. It helps with clarity, purity, energy. It's really about you and keeping you protected. And then last but not least, we're going to do a message from our Healing Notes deck. We can always use more healing. Your note says, what we have once enjoyed, we can never lose. All that we love deeply becomes a part of us. Thank you so much, Aquarius, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, if you do subscribe, you'll be notified when I post videos in the future, and it is very helpful to me. But thank you again. If you'd like to make a donation, I did include my Venmo in the comments box. But have a fabulous rest of your February, Aquarius.